Hello, PC clients. Today we're going to be looking at the referral process. How do I refer a client out, and how do I receive a referral client from somewhere else? So, if I'm referring a client out, the first thing I normally do is I'll go into one of the Facebook groups that I'm in and see if I know someone that is in Michigan or whatever. If I don't have anybody in that area, then I'll come here to the command. I'll go over to referrals, then up here, map, click on map. And then now you can search for any place. So I'm going to search for Walker, Louisiana. If you notice, Walker is a tiny little suburb outside of Baton Rouge here. So I really want a Walker agent or someone who's in that area. I have a few criteria when I'm looking for agents. The first one is that they have a few sales under their belt. I want somebody that's selling about 15 homes a year at a minimum, but not 50, 60, 70. Because usually when you get that high, you're looking at a team. And what I don't want them to do is to take my referral and then outsource it to Joe Bob on their team after I've spoken with Mary, right? So I want to make sure that they're not a team and they're going to service my lead themselves. But look how many agents they have in this area. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm really honing in and finding the ones that are specific to the area. If you click on these, it will zoom in. So now I can see all the agents that say they are native to the Walker area. I'm going to click on this first one. He's a luxury agent. You can see, let's see if it opens it up. You can now see his stats once it's open, how many units he sold. Sometimes it'll have a link to their social media profiles. So he's got 70 closed units, 35 listing, 35 buy. That's a pretty good, even. He's been with KW 18 years. That's fantastic. I don't see, so right here it says he's a team leader. So if I were to refer something to him, I would ask specifically that he service the business himself. Typically, I'm not looking for team. I'm looking for individuals. So you really just pick whoever you think is going to get the job done. And I do that by clicking and researching each one individual. So he's got his social media. So I go over to his social media. Doesn't actually work. Not a great look for him. So I would look for someone else. So I'm just scrolling through to try to find somebody that meets whose values and work ethic are in line with mine. So once I usually do three. I start calling them. And for me, it's who's going to answer the phone. If you don't pick up the phone, I'm not going to refer you my business, because if you're not going to pick up the phone for a number you don't know, how do I know you're going to pick up the phone for my client when they call? So the first person that picks up the phone from the list that I've made, that's who I go with, as long as they want the business. The conversation usually goes something like, hey, I have a client who's looking in the Walker area. Their budget is, $300,000 and they're already pre-approved by XYZ lender. I am seeking a 25% referral fee to send this to you. So once they agree to that, I would follow that with a text. Hey, so nice to speak with you. Here's my contact information that you can save. As discussed, Sandra Smith is going to be moving to Walker. She's already pre-approved with XYZ Bank, and you've approved a 25% referral fee. The fee is negotiable, just like everything else. You put out what you're willing to receive based on the work you've already done or not done with the client. So this is where I start. I find my referral agent if I don't have one already that I like to work with, and then I reach out and give them a call and let them know what's going on. Once I've made that relationship, there are a few documents that I need. The first one is going to be this referral authorization. So you are sending this to your buyer, or seller, the person you're referring out. You're sending this to your referral, and it says that they understand and authorize us to send them to another agent. It's basically saying that they understand that we will probably get paid something in order to refer them out. So your buyer or seller, the party being referred, whomever that is, needs to sign this, and then it needs to go into command, into compliance. The second document you're going to need is going to be this broker to broker referral. So this is a referral agreement, broker to broker. And if you search referral in your documents, it will come up. There's a broker to broker and there's a broker to builder. So you're using the broker to broker. You're going to fill out their information. So that brokerage, Valor Realty, referred this person to me here at my brokerage. That's the prospect's information. Now, the way she did it is probably the best way to do it. She put the prospect's name and nothing else until I agreed to her terms, which is here. She wants 25% of the buyer's agent commission. Once I agreed to the terms, then she texted me the buyer's information. I was able to reach out to her. So this is probably the most appropriate way to do it. If it's somebody you know, like, and trust, it's probably unnecessary. I would put name, email, phone number, so they have all that information there. There are a couple of options here, so just make sure you read through these. Are you asking for a percentage of the listing? Are you asking for a percentage of the buy side? Or this one, she just says she wants 25%. I'm not sure why she didn't check one of these, but either is fine. Down here, she says one transaction. Do note, if you know this person is going to buy and sell, I would put 2 transactions because I'm giving you 2 transactions. They're back to back. I've seen people put, 5 transactions. I don't know that I'm a fan of that because they may go away and then 2 years later decide to sell her house. This document now means she would still owe me on that person, where if they decided to go back to that agent, it's because that agent has formed a relationship with them. I just don't feel that I'm entitled to that. I do, however, feel that I'm entitled to right now business. So if my friend called me and said, I want to buy a house in Walker, but I need to sell my house in Baton Rouge, I want both of those transactions. So just make sure you fill that out correctly, how many you want. And then how long they get to send us the money. So 14 days here. Then down at the bottom, it's the 2 broker representatives. So it's the 2 agents that are going to sign this at the bottom. So it's got all their information. It's got all our information. Here at the bottom, we sign. That document goes into compliance. Now, in order to pay me, she will need a copy of our W-9. So I have uploaded this into the Facebook group, which it's here under files. So if you go and open that, it'll be our W-9. So you'll need to send that to the other agent in order for them to pay you for the referral. So I'm sending this out. Then she's going to pay me. So they need our company's W-9. So you'd send that to them. So now inside of Command, you have your buyer's agreement to send them to someone else. You have the W-9, which is how you would get paid, and you have the broker to broker referral. And what you would need to do is go in when you know that the transaction is closing, you would go in and fill out the commissions tab to show where you get paid, and you'll be able to fill out all the information to make sure that you get paid. So that's how to do an outbound. Inbound is the same process in reverse. So if they call and say, hey, I have a friend moving to Augusta, they are gonna send their client that form that they agreed to the referral. They're going to send you the broker-to-broker referral that you will fill out with your company's information and sign and send back to them. They will send you the client information. You help them find a house. They will send you their W-9 so that our brokerage can pay their brokerage. All of that will go into Command. You will do your normal closing and commissions tab, but you will put that 25% to an outside agent, and you'll enter all their information in there, and that's the way they get paid. Our brokerage sends a check via the mail, like USPS. If you want to track it, you will need to pay for FedEx tracking, which I think is like $12 or $14. So I typically do that way. I can say, hey, your check was sent out on Monday, and here's the tracking information. That way we're making sure it's not getting lost in the mail and things like that. We can also see when it gets there, so that if they're calling me, I can say, no, your office has it. It arrived on XYZ date. So that is the process I use for referrals, outbound, and incoming referrals.